Really, it's all about setting people up to fail. Hello everybody, welcome back to Sports Betting Truth, and today I'm starting a new video series called Ask Sports Betting Truth. It's pretty much where if I see a question that is asked in my YouTube comments or an email that I get that I feel like is worthy enough of its own video, I'm going to create a video about it, answering the question and going into detail about why I am answering the question that way. So today's question of the day comes from a viewer who is a very loyal viewer of mine, the exclusive one, 720. He's been around in my streams. He's in my comment section a lot. He's a good guy. And we were discussing something that he brought up in my past video, The Truth About Sports Betting. No offense to him. I'm not calling out Exclusive One 720. No, this is Sports Betting Truth. It's a channel about learning. It's about learning. And I'm not saying, he's a bad guy or anything. But he started talking about a tout that I'm very aware of that he thought was a good one, right? And so I said, actually, no, he's not, because this tout, I'm not going to name him right now, but this tout, I've seen his videos, he sells picks, and his gimmick is, I'm a good tout. I do things the right way. I sell picks the right way. All the other touts out there are bad, but I'm good. And I don't like that. Before I continue to go further, let me tell you the question that was posed by Exclusive One 720. So he asked, are you basically saying that it is wrong for a person to charge and sell sports betting information to others, even if it is good educational information that benefits? So pretty much what he's asking here is it bad to sell sports betting information? Now, in my opinion, yes. Outside of data. Now, I don't have any problem with someone selling data, but that's different. I'm talking about sports betting information like picks. And I have a lot of people who come to me saying, why don't you sell access to your model? You're not selling picks, you're just selling access to your model. Well, both of the answers are the same, because I think you're ultimately setting up the person to fail. Now, this tout that Exclusive One 720 was talking about, that talks about how great he is as a tout and why he does things the right way. You think he's the only tout that markets himself as the guy who does it the right way? No, that's the entire concept of Wager Talk, which is a tout website out there that features a ton of horrible touts that their whole gimmick was they split off from pregame to do things the right way, right? But there is no right way to sell picks, because ultimately you're setting up people to fail. And when I say that, you're setting up to fail because, say, let's use this tout as an example, the tout that calls himself like the good tout. Yeah, he might do things the right way. He might not lie or embellish, but still, you still are setting up people to fail, because the amount you're charging for these picks still would make a losing proposition in the long run for a bettor, because the percentage of winners he would have to give out in order for the bettor that's buying his picks to still come out ahead after the tout fees is astronomically high and impossible. Now, I know what you're saying. Well, what if he's only giving out $25 picks and the bettor's betting $1,000 a game? That's minimal. Yeah, but if you're selling picks for $25, I mean, that's probably not even worth it. You're probably not going to make a lot of money. So it's a scale, right? There's a scale out there. That scale represents, the amount of, on one axis is the amount of money you're charging for picks, and on the other axis is the amount of success the picks are having. So theoretically, the more money you charge for picks, the better they do, but that's not the case, trust me, guys. But regardless, what I'm saying is that you're not factoring in the amount extra you have to win to profit when you're buying picks from a tout. So if you're not buying picks from a tout, then you need to hit 52.4% of your bets on a standard minus 110 side bet in order to come out ahead. But when you're paying a tout, you have to factor that additional clearance you have to have in order to make money. And I believe for any tout, the amount of winning picks you would have to give out are mathematically impossible, because when you factor in the tout's fees, then you're talking like 60% territory, which I just don't think you can do no matter what the tout says. And that's why I personally don't sell access to my model, because I believe, first of all, there's no guarantee. My models, there's no guarantee they're going to profit. And second of all, the amount you would have to win, the amount my model would have to win in order to justify the investment in selling access to my model would, in my opinion, be impossible, and all of the people who subscribe to betting my model would fail. Now, I know what a lot of people are going to say as well. They're going to be like, well, what if you're just buying one or two picks from the tout? Then I'm talking long-run territory. Yeah, you could buy a pick from a tout and it wins and you still come out ahead. But over the span of 100 bets, 400 bets, 800 bets, 1,000 bets, over time, in the long run, the amount of winning the tout would have to do, the percentage of winning picks he would have to give you would be too high, in my opinion, mathematically impossible to come out ahead in the long run after factoring in the tout's fees. So that's ultimately why I believe that there are no good touts, because even the good touts know this. They know that the percentage of winners they would have to give out to justify buying picks from the touts is mathematically impossible, and over the long run, everybody's going to come out in the red, in the negative, after the tout fees. And that's why I think it's immoral, unethical, and not a good idea to sell picks, because you know that. You know that you have to hit an astronomically high percentage of your picks that you're giving out to your clients for them to come out ahead after the fees they pay you. And good luck. I just don't think it's possible to hit that percentage. Like I said earlier, yeah, you could be charging $25 for your picks, but is that even worth it? And if you're charging something like Stu Feiner, who charges thousands and thousands of dollars, I mean, even for someone who's betting $10,000 a game, you're still going to have to hit 60% of those picks to come out ahead. It's just not going to happen. So ultimately, that's what it all boils down to. And that's why I think there's no such thing as a good tout, because the bar you have to clear to profit after the tout fees is impossible, and the tout should know that, and therefore it's unethical because you're setting up your clients to fail. And that's why there's no such thing as a good tout. No matter how good of a tout they say they are, no matter how moral and ethical they claim to be, there's no good touts out there because of that alone. You are going to have to give out such a high percentage of winners to make the investment in your services worth it to come out ahead, and the tout should know that if they have any math skills at all. Anyway, that wraps up for this first video of Ask Sports Betting Truth. Don't be afraid to ask questions in my comments or email in the future, and maybe they will show up on the Ask Sports Betting Truth segment that I have started today. Because you guys ask a lot of good questions, and there are times where I feel like the question is so good that it deserves its own video, like Exclusive 1720's question. So ask ahead, and maybe I'll do a video about it. Anyway, until next time, this is Sports Betting Truth, signing off.